Morning, everybody. We're sitting here having breakfast at Gabbys Bistro, which is a lovely little place. Bud Brown used to blog from here quite a bit, usually on the back, inside the building around the back. And he blogged about this the one day, so I decided to come on over here and check it out. It's a very nice place to have breakfast and inexpensive, unlike some, other places, let's say, or at least twice the price. Here it's very cheap. You can get a meal for $2 or $3, maybe $4 for the cup of coffee. This coffee was 40 pesos, which is just less than $1. And I'm here with Helen and the grumpy girl here. It's quite grumpy because Helen's got the phone right now. She doesn't have it. And it's unfortunately angled up enough. I got my camera or my phone just sitting in the GoPro or the OtterBox, which has a little foot that slips out the back and allows you to prop it up. And thought I'd do a little short video here of us having breakfast. I had bacon and eggs with rice, garlic rice. I haven't checked to see if they have home fries here, but we'll see. And if they don't know how to make them, maybe I'll have to send Helen back there and have them show them how to make them. So I taught her if she knows that. Although potatoes are not a staple here, they do exist. It's hard to find big bacon potatoes, at least in this area. We spot them periodically, and it's usually just a white potato. It's not like a big Idaho potato. And sweet potatoes they have, but they tend most of the time smaller and a variety of different colors. But some of them are very sweet. She boiled some the other day and sliced them up and just peeled the skin after she boiled them, and they were very, very soft and delicious. They were purple, so the color doesn't matter. Some of them are purple, some of them are green, orange. I always thought it was the one she Trisha likes the purple. The flavor's the same, but she likes the purple. Yeah, we're talking about too. As you can see, she's quite grumpy. But she's always grumpy when she doesn't have the phone. As you can see, she's trying to get the phone so she can watch her cartoon. She is quite grumpy. At any rate, we're just over on the boulevard. I just shot 360 video coming into Dumaguete and coming up to the boulevard, parking the trike, and I set the camera up on a walker and walked out to the end of the, it's not a pier, it's like where they've extended out the land as a protective barrier for the businesses there. And they've turned, it's the area that you see a lot of people are blocking. Nobody's parked the 360 camera out there. I basically went out, and I planned to walk up and down it, but ran across a guy named Barry, who's been coming and going here for quite a while. He's married to a Filipino. He's coming to here. And we got into a great conversation for, Philippine battery ran out on the camera, so I don't know how many videos it is. They only let me put up 8 minutes and 2 seconds of video, and then it starts another one. And I can't find any way yet to splice them together, which is why everything is in part 1, part 2. Sorry about that, but that's what they're. I made sure they're in order, I double checked, and haven't messed up yet. Except for the one bus video, which is actually at the very last video in the series of me driving through Dumaguete. And I put up first because it was the bus trying to squish me like a bug. And there's another one there that was a 2-part video. Well, that was put up first, and then I put up a series of videos prior to that one as we drove into town. And I just zigzagged around in traffic to kind of give you an idea what traffic is like here, although I did make the mistake of having the camera mounted over the back of the trike. I've now readjusted where I put the mount on the trike so you're at the front, which is the video that you'll see of the bike. It says he only waits 5 seconds, and if you look at the video, it's 360 video. You can look behind me, you'll see the guy coming. I stopped because normally at that intersection, there's only one smooth spot to drive out in the trike. Otherwise, there's a jump about that high up onto the concrete. And trikes are very bumpy. Even with the softening of the suspension I've done, it's very, very stiff, so it's not very comfortable to go over that. You can get over it, but you got to kind of bang at it. And it's not comfortable for Helen in the back, it's jarred all around. It's not as bad for me up front. It's very hard on her. For me, I can come up and hit the sucker at speed and whoop, 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 you know, no different than riding my quad. Only I can't stand up because there's a roof, which would make it smoother. Oh God, I wish I had a nice Bombardier 2-seater, 4-wheel drive. Oh, but I love to have that here. 800cc V-twin, and it was a front to back 2-seater, which would have been fantastic here. But just had to put like street tire. Christian, stop banging into things. Open the damn thing right into the camera. She's bored because she doesn't have the phone. No, don't give her the phone because there might be some copyrighted crap to put up. And they'll get on the video and screw it up. So we'll wait. You can wait. Don't live. We're only at 6 minutes now. At any rate, you can put a street tire. You could easily put a street tire, an off-road street tire onto that bike. I really wish I had that thing. But it would have been a nightmare to try and ship it. Number one, to ship a vehicle here, you can't own it. It has to be owned by a Filipino or Filipino. And they have to have owned it for 6 months prior to shipping it, or prior to arriving here. And you can get it out of their name after here, but you have to trust somebody here to ship it to. On top of that, it's very expensive to ship from the U.S. I looked into it. I had a nice geo tracker all jacked up and all that shit. And I thought, oh man, and it'd be fantastic here. There's plenty of basically Suzuki Sidekick in America as well, same car. And there's tons of them here. They're all over the place. But those vehicles are actually very hard to get parts for older ones. I found out when I bought mine. I bought mine, jacked it up, and did all that crazy stuff. And it's probably some background shots of the videos from the U.S. I gave it away to the guy who helped me after my brother kicked me out of the house. And basically kicked me to the street when I wasn't ready to jump on my trailer and Prius rig that I drove 4,000 miles across the U.S. He kicked me out with like 3 days left to work on it. And it ended up costing me about $5,000 or $6,000 in just expenses because he suddenly kicked me out. And on top of that, I ended up spending way too much shipping stuff because I didn't have time to get rid of anything. And there was a lot of precious stuff over there. There was antiques that dated back in my family for over 100 years. And also some nice things like my Lazy Boy recliner. Not Lady Boy, Lazy Boy. But thank God I shipped that on. I spent a lot of time shipping that chair because it is hard to find a decent, comfortable chair here. You can find them, you just gotta look along. What I started with is my plastic folding chairs. You can get Lifetime brand here, and they're reasonably comfortable chairs. I bought a couple of plastic rockers. Have to throw a cushion on them, but they're very comfortable. We use them at the dinner table. They're made for outside in the lawn, but we keep them in the house. We don't have a lawn. Man, what else can I think of to talk about? If you're looking for Gabbys, you can type it in on maps, and you'll get a couple of Gabbys. But if you look around Dumaguete, and I found it when Bud Brown did a video where he drove down here, and there's one particular piece of architecture that you're only going to find on one street here in Dumaguete, and it has concrete barriers in the middle of the road, like basically where they would plant flowers or whatever, and there's gaps in them. And this road is the only one that has that. It's one of the last roads that goes down to the coast that goes to the airport. It's along where the airport is. And if you go any further north, you hit the airport where you have to turn and actually come back to this road that's here. It's not that hard to find Gabbys. If you get down on the boulevard, head north, you'll get to a point where you got to choose to go to the left or zig around and go straight. Basically, just go to the left, and it's the Gabbys that's up there. When I first looked it up on YouTube, I couldn't find it, but when I watched Bud's video and I saw those barriers, I knew exactly what road it was on. It wasn't hard to find. And it's a great little restaurant. You got anything to say, babe? Got anything to tell our audience?
Hmm?
Is our audience? You got anything to say, Trisha, about for kids coming? Which kids bring if they're coming?
Kids bring what?
I don't know. If there's people coming here with their children, what would be good for a kid to bring here if they were coming here from America?
Chicken, bacon, and many sweets.
Many toys. Oh, there's tons of toys here, guys.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, and plenty of sweets.
Plenty of sweets. Ooh, I love sweet.
There isn't much in the line of diet drinks, that's for sure. But I did find where you can buy Crystal Light from Lazada. I'm a diabetic, and because of that, I need to drink something, preferably with some kind of no sweetener in it, or oh my gosh, it's actually not good for a diabetic to be drinking aspartame. But I can't stand straight water. Well, I can, but I don't like it. I'm not sure what else to say. I can do a quick pan around and. This is the outdoor part of the restaurant. And right up against the window, this is the indoor part. I'm not sure where the staircase goes. There might be an upper level. They do rent. There is I don't know if they're rental as in monthly or rental as in like a hotel, but there are apartments here at Gabbys behind the place. And I suspect whoever built this place may be from England, because a lot of the names of the little buildings have British references, like Lancaster, things like that. I forget exactly what it was. There's about 3 or 4 buildings up there, and each one had a little name on it. This is actually a dead-end street. When you come in here, you have to sort of turn around at the end and come back out. There's a bunch of little speed bumps. Be a nice place to start out. If they're not expensive, I don't know. I could look into it. Anybody that's interested, I'll look into it for you if you want. And of course, anyone that wants me to do a particular video of a location, as long as it's within reasonable range of Dumageddon, is Bakong. Now, Bakong is about 10 miles south of Dumageddon. And we're about maybe 5 or 10 miles north of Dallas. We are about to do a run possibly up to Bias City to drop Helen's mother off, which we did before. But this time around, I'm going to have the 360 camera mounted up, and there's a location where you drive right along the seacoast, and there's concrete columns, like very Romanesque as you go along, which is actually right near the house that I recorded that belongs to the mayor. The video that's called "Boy Was I Wrong," because I thought it was just an abandoned house, but it's the family homestead, and I guess it's the house that I don't know if he built or had been there, but he, I believe, does use it some, maybe in the dry season because the roof's leaking. But it is an amazing house. Shame that it's kind of going feral. I'd love to rent it from him, but I just found out as part of our marriage, we have to take the marriage license to the mayor of the town. We get married and we end up meeting the mayor, but we're not getting married in Dumageddon, we're getting married in Valencia. And because of that, we won't get to meet the mayor of Dumageddon. But I have found his actual house. Ellen pointed it out, and it's, you see why he's not that worried about that house, because the house he's got here in Dumageddon is very nice. I'd love to do a video there, but not without his permission. I'm not going to do a video of somebody's house, especially an official here, because we had the recent assassination, and you don't want to put location information or a picture of some official's place online, especially without their permission. That particular place, he's not living there, and the family was like, fine, and they're very friendly people. There was no trespassing signs on the house, and oh, look at this. or less grumpy at least. Well, this video's already gone too long, guys, so I'm just going to end it here. And like I said, if somebody wants me to look up something or check into something or video a particular thing or look for a price on a vehicle or, oh, by the way, with financing, I did mention, I did plan to talk about this at the dealership. You have to be married to a Filipino to finance. You cannot finance as a foreigner. You're paying cash for whatever you buy. And you can probably rent a car. You can rent a car. I don't know how much it costs. The neighbor next to me rented a car for quite a few months before he bought a car and a bike. And that's it, guys. Have a good one.